people of the world, friends and relatives, you know that you don't have to play guitar, right? Like, it's not an inherently responsible, healthy, good thing to do. It's not you're not supposed to play guitar. It's just something that you're choosing to do, presumably because it makes you feel good. You could make the argument that it would be more healthy and beneficial if you just took that time that you would be practicing guitar and just went for a long walk instead. You don't have to play guitar. How did it make you feel when I said that just now? Did it make you feel relieved? Or did it make you feel frustrated and annoyed with me for even saying it? If it made you feel relieved, then here's what I'm going to say. Yeah, it sounds like you're burnt out and you should just chill out about the whole thing. You don't have to play guitar. You can still own a guitar and pick it up every once in a while and you'll get a little bit better, and then eventually you'll die and it'll be fine. If I said, hey, you don't have to play guitar, and you got defensive and you were like, no, I am supposed to play guitar. You don't know what you're talking about. How dare you tell me that I should go on a walk instead of playing guitar? I need to play guitar. I want to play guitar, and I'm going to be the best guitarist ever, and how dare you say otherwise? If that was how you felt, this video is for both of those people. It's for everybody. Guys, I'm an equal opportunity YouTuber. Is that political? I don't really know what equal opportunity means. I think calling myself an equal opportunity YouTuber is okay. I think if I called myself an affirmative action YouTuber, I just think that's treading into waters that I don't want to tread into. Right? People of the world, friends and relatives, my name is Stuart Alexander Lehman-brown. I'm here to talk to you about burnout, motivation, and the lack thereof. My name is Stuart Alexander Lehman-brown. I'm holding a guitar, but this is a clipboard video. Let's do this. I have two really important things I want to tell you that have nothing to do with I want to listen. Do you know what this is? I just swear I don't care no more. Burnout by Green Day. I'm not going to teach you the song. It's just the song is called Burnout, so I played it. The other thing that is completely unrelated is I got an email from LinkedIn today, and it made me think, hey, has anyone ever made a joke that was like LinkedIn Park? Like a parody cover tribute band to Linkin Park, but they're called LinkedIn Park. I don't know what they would do. I don't know if they would do like business parodies of Linkin Park songs, but I just was going to throw it. I'm not going to do anything with it. So if anyone out there wants to just like start a parody band called LinkedIn Park, I would say go for it. But you should probably check in with LinkedIn because it's probably copywritten or whatever. All right, so let me tell you a story. Oh, golly gee whiz. I forgot that I have to actually, I kind of forgot that I actually have to record a video today. When I was in high school, I kind of stumbled into the world of jazz. I played more bass than guitar, so it was like the world of jazz bass. But I was playing guitar as well. But I met some jazz musicians and saw some jazz groups that were they seemed really cool. And they were really talented, and they just could play really fast, and I was just really inspired. And I was like, oh, I would love to play jazz. And so I really, devoted a lot of time and energy to playing jazz. But the problem was, I didn't understand it. I was learning the scales, I was learning the songs, I was playing with jazz groups, I was taking action constantly. But I always felt a little, discouraged and lost because I didn't feel like I was achieving what I was supposed to achieve. I just struggled with jazz. But I was really committed. I was really disciplined, really committed. I kept playing, kept practicing. Years went by. And I even in college studied some jazz. But it still it was really a struggle. It was pulling teeth every time I practiced. It was like every time I played with a new group of musicians, I was really stressed out and I never felt like I was achieving what I was supposed to achieve. And finally, when I was probably 21 or 22, I was just screw it. This is so much work. I'm not having fun. I'm not improving. I'm exhausted. I don't even know what I'm trying to do. And I just kind of threw in the towel on my aspirations to become a jazz legend. I just moved on. I was like, I'm just going to play rock songs. Rock songs are fun and I understand them and I get excited by them. And I just abandoned the world of jazz. Then, like, weeks later, I got hired for a jazz gig because I still knew other jazz musicians, and I was playing at the gig, and I kind of realized, like, oh, I have more confidence than I realized here. Okay, whatever, that's fine. And moving on. Then I played maybe a couple more jazz gigs, and maybe I wrote a jazz song, and then I just kept just life went on. A couple years later, I went, hey, I actually am pretty proficient in the world of jazz. I would actually say I'm beyond proficient. I'm pretty good. I'm playing with tons of people. Like, I'm feeling good about it. I don't really see what the big deal was. This story didn't quite play out. I feel like I was supposed to have more beats to this story, but I didn't. I just said my jazz burnout story. And I think I missed so many chapters, but we're just going to move on. Here's the point. I really wanted to be good at jazz, but the more time and energy I put into it, the less my heart was in it, the less motivated I was, and the less fun I was having. And eventually it just hit a critical mass where I was like, I need to stop. Once I stopped and just changed my mindset, it just kind of took this natural course and I sort of got to where I wanted to be. The problem is that doesn't fit in with any of the other stuff I want to talk about. So why did you say that story? Okay. Well, okay, it kind of does fit in. Here's the deal. I had to put in a lot of work and time and effort, and it was pretty brutal. And then when it got bad enough, I was just like, screw it, I'm done. And then all of that time and energy I put in the past sort of like percolated and festered and bubbled up to the surface. And then everything was good. So I wrote right here, burnout wasn't just an obstacle for my jazz journey. It was somehow a critical, crucial part of the process. I had to put in a bunch of energy, burn out, abandon ship, and then everything came back together. Oh, golly gee whiz. Let's move on from that story. I think maybe I'll be able to tie that story into the rest of this stuff as we continue the video, but let's just kind of start fresh right now. All right, let's talk about, look, I have tips for you. I have like very specific tips that will really help you. But first, we have to have a long-winded discussion about what burnout is. Doesn't that sound fun? In my opinion, burnout is really, it's a lack of success, or at least a lack of a feeling of success. It's that things aren't improving enough. It's that you perceive that things are not improving enough, or just that you're not getting what you want out of guitar. It's that you do not have forward momentum and a feeling that you are achieving something. I believe there are 3 basic solutions to the problem of burnout. 1, adjust expectations. I love mechanical pencils, but I swear to goodness gracious, I break so much lead. Adjust your expectations. If you feel like you're not achieving what you're supposed to, you're not getting the success that you want to have, then you have to temper your expectations and have a lower standard. It's a bummer, but it's the way. This is probably the easiest solution, but it's the least effective solution. So I have wrote down a couple examples here. Let's take a look. It says, maybe you aren't going to notice any improvement and you try to just play for the fun of it. Good luck. I have never been able to, okay. Maybe you wanted to make a career out of it. Maybe you know what? It's not really a realistic career path for me right now, but I do want to play for fun. And then I'll just let whatever happen. Maybe it'll turn into something in the future. Who knows? But for now, not trying to make money, just playing for fun. Maybe you just feel like you suck at guitar. Hey, guess what? You are completely allowed to suck at guitar and keep playing. So instead of going, I suck, but I should be good, maybe just try to make peace with the fact that you are going to continue to suck at guitar for a while. Maybe you thought that playing music would be relaxing, and it's not relaxing. It stresses you out. Okay, great. So maybe you're not going to be able to get all that just peaceful relaxation out of playing guitar, but it's still just engagement, and it's something that you are building, and maybe someday it'll be a relaxing experience. For right now, it's an engaging exercise for your brain and your fingers, not a relaxation thing. We're just adjusting our expectations. Here's another thing. Maybe you are trying to practice every day, or multiple times a day, or 5 times a week, and it's wearing you down. Hey, practice once a week. Practice once a month. Just have your guitar hanging on your wall and just pick it up whenever you feel like it. Again, you don't have to play guitar, so you can just grab it whenever. Okay, great. That's the first pretty crappy solution, is try to lower your expectations, adjust your mindset so you don't expect the same things from your guitar playing, and then it won't be as disappointing and you will feel more successful. All right. The next solution to burnout is determination and discipline, which are pretty much the same. They're not the same thing. They're similar. They're related. They're 2 words that start with D. Ignore your burnout and just play anyway, and hopefully you will just kind of fight your way through the other side. If you are determined to keep playing no matter how much you hate it or how exhausted you are, eventually you're gonna get good at guitar and you're probably gonna start to feel motivated again. This one feels a little bit toxic, of like, just keep working, grit, willpower, determination, boomer. But I think it's still like realistic. I also think that developing some of that determination and discipline is kind of a good skill set to develop. I'm feeling guilty. I'm feeling guilty because I feel like I'm guilting you into not just trying harder and suck it up. But I hate the word suck it up. Walk it off, suck it up. These are my least favorite things. Who am I turning into? People of the world, friends and relatives. What else did I write? Okay, so on that same note, if you hate practicing and you're sick of it, but you do it anyway, hey, guess what? You're still going to improve. And sometimes, no matter how much you're into like just loving everything you're doing and having a positive aura around you, sometimes you're still going to just not be in the mood to practice, but you know you'll feel better in the long run if you practice. So, okay, that's great. So, if you're feeling burnt out, you could just ignore it and just keep playing anyway and hope that the burnout goes away. I don't think that's as unhealthy as it sounds. This is the third solution to burnout. This is my personal favorite, but I think it's the hardest one to achieve, and it might be the most toxic of all. I'm trying to like actually tell you how I feel about this stuff and the things that have worked for me. I'm trying not to do like the self-help feel-good version. I'm trying to do the real version. Since we talked about how burnout is like a lack of success with what you're doing, be more successful. Find more successes. Let's see what I wrote. I don't remember what I wrote down for this. So this is my favorite tactic, but I think it requires the most luck and the most time, and it's the least dependable. You can't be sure that you're going to find these successes. I am not a goal-driven person. I need external gratification, which is why I have this YouTube channel. I do sometimes set goals for myself, but I don't get excited about hitting my goals. I get excited about other people telling me I'm doing a good job. So, what I think you might want to do is, I'm being serious. It sounds like I'm like being a parody, but I'm not. Maybe seek some external gratification. Find some other people in the world to tell you that you're successful. Oh, golly, gee whiz. This might be writing some songs and completing them. Not just sitting down to write a song, but actually completing a song and showing those songs to people. Even if your songs are bad, it'd be really crappy if people told you they were bad. Almost everybody is going to say, that's great, you wrote that. And then you can just choose to believe them, and then that will be a success. success. Great. And now burnout is gone. Feeling motivated. What else did I write? Playing shows. If you can find it in your courage center to sign up for an open mic night, a talent show, even just like if you go to like a week-long summer retreat and they have a little talent show, do it there. Or like just find some way to perform for a person, and then that's an accomplishment. And even if the performance goes poorly, you will know, I just achieved something. I took a big step. You'll feel demotivated a little bit if it went really poorly. But I really do think it just adds energy to it and will motivate you in the long run. Might be recording things, like recording your own songs, recording covers of other songs and listening back to them. Honestly, it might be making some money. Like how could you do that? You could like busk, and even if you only make $20, hey, that's $20. You just got paid for being a musician. You are a professional musician. How motivating is that? It might be teaching a lesson to somebody. It might, whatever. Playing at a restaurant, it will take some work, but that's a nice little goal to set of finding some way to make money playing guitar. It's very motivating. Okay, here's the easiest one. Because I realize all of those examples I just gave were a little bit tough. It's like, Uncle Stuart, I'm not going to sign up for a talent show or an open mic night. Are you kidding me? And I don't even know how to begin. Making money playing guitar. Like, I know what busking is, but just in case I don't, could you remind me? Yeah, busking is when you like play on a street corner or a sidewalk or whatever, and then people put money in your guitar case. That's busking. Yeah, so I knew that, but so I don't even know, like, do I need a permit to do that? Yeah, I don't know. But so here's a very realistic thing that you can do to get a little bit of external gratification to make you feel successful and pump up your jam. Just like this is pretty cringy, but like, okay. Like bring your guitar to school or bring your guitar to work, and during like break, play it. Don't shove it in people's faces. Don't like walk up to them and go like, hey, check this out. But like find a nice little spot that's like seems secluded, but really everybody can see you. And people are going to come up and go like, oh, I didn't know you played guitar. And you go, yeah. And then just play the easiest song you know. And then they'll go, that sounds great. Hey, my cousin plays guitar. And then you go, okay. And then they go like, hey, did you want to get married sometime? And you go like, hey, So that's... Find a success. It's my serious answer to how to fight burnout. All right. So, of course, combating burnout is a mix of all of these things. You're going to need to find some success one way or another to keep motivated. You're going to need to fight through the times when you are not feeling motivated and just have discipline and determination and keep playing anyway. And you're always going to have to adjust your mindset and temper your expectations, because you're going to just, if you reach your goals, you're going to have to set bigger goals. If you have these big goals set and you're just not hitting them, then of course you need to set easier, more achievable goals. Okay. Let's talk about some actual realistic, practical things you can do. These are the basics of fighting burnout. These are like the generally accepted healthy things that you can do. After that, I have a list of things that I personally do that work for me. So one is switch your environment, switch your routine. If you're used to practicing in the morning, practice at night. If you're used to playing on acoustic, maybe get an electric guitar. Try that. If you usually practice in your bedroom, how about you practice outside, or you practice in the basement or in the garage? Just change things up, right? Obvious never really worked for me. I think it's a waste of time. Here's another one. Take a break. Like an extended break from practicing, or if you don't like that idea, because that might be a turnoff for you, which I understand. So like, just take 6 weeks off from playing guitar. You're like, if I take 6 weeks off, I'm never going to pick it up again. I'm just going to feel lost without it. It's going to make things worse. I understand. If it sounds good to you, go for it. A lot of people say it works, but you could also just really reduce your practice sessions. If you're used to trying to practice for 20 minutes at a time, hey, maybe just have like 5-minute practice sessions. If you're used to practicing for 5 minutes at a time, how about a 30-second practice session? Just don't put the pressure on yourself to dig into guitar, and just have it be a more passive, lighthearted thing with just little teeny practice commitments. All right. Here's the most obvious one of all that doesn't work for anybody, and it's just play fun songs that you like. Don't try to play those tough songs. Just play fun songs that make you feel good. Yeah, if I had fun songs that made me feel good, I wouldn't be feeling burnt out. I would just be having fun playing those fun songs. So thanks for your help with that. Set goals. I already discussed that goals don't really work for me. But these are, I think playing things that are fun and setting goals are good for most people. So give it a try. And you've already tried it. Okay, I like this one. Start something brand new. Like, try to become a beginner again. When you are a beginner, you have a lot of successes right away because everything is new. Even the really simple skills are brand new. So you suck at them, but then after a little bit of practice time, you're able to do it. So maybe try a brand new style. Maybe play some jazz guitar if you haven't before. Maybe try fingerpicking if you haven't done fingerpicking. Maybe start learning how to read sheet music. That sounds terrible. I'm not telling you have to do that. I'm just saying that's an option. Maybe if you're used to playing country, try to play some Western. And the truth is, I think all of those habits are just good habits to do all the time, regardless of your levels of burnout. So it's probably a good idea to switch your environment and your routine on a regular basis. You always want to take some breaks. You improve when you're taking breaks. Of course, you always want to play fun stuff. You don't only want to play miserable stuff. Apparently, goals are like the most important thing in life. I've just never been good at it. You always want to start new things, and those are all just good habits. So just do those things no matter what. But they're not really going to help you with burnout. Here's what I do when I'm feeling burnout. I think an emphasis on feeling burnout. Even if I'm having a lot of success, sometimes I feel like I'm not having any success, and vice versa. Sometimes I'm totally stagnant, but I'm just having fun and feeling like I'm discovering new things, so everything's good. So these are the things that I do when I am feeling disgusted with playing guitar. I play along with records. I put on a song and I play along. I try to learn the songs, but if I don't know some of the songs, I just fake it and try to make it feel like I'm playing along with them. And a really important part of this, in my opinion, is I look at myself in the mirror while I'm doing it. I pretend I'm on stage with the band. I try to look as cool as I can. I honestly put more emphasis on looking cool than actually playing the song accurately. It is practice. I get to fill in my practice sheet. I do not keep a practice sheet, but no offense if you do. There's nothing wrong with that. Look, guys, we're all different people living in different planets from each other. So nothing that any of us does affects anyone else. So you can do whatever you want. It doesn't matter. This might be the most important part of my guitar journey, is putting on a record, staring at myself in the mirror, trying to be as cool as possible. It's very motivating. If you don't have a mirror that's the right size or in the right spot, just turn the light on in your room, open up your blinds, and use your window as a mirror. It only works at night, though. Okay, here's another one. This goes along with that, and this is fantasize. You can do this while you're practicing, or you can do it like at night when you're listening to music, or when you're just like on a walk, just imagining. Just fantasize about how cool it's going to be when you have all the successes that you've always wanted. This video is sounding more and more toxic, especially when I was a teenager. Every single night, well, first, I would stare at myself in the window while I was pretending to play along with songs. Very motivating, and fantasize about being in the band. But then, when I would go to sleep, I would put on headphones and listen to music and pretend that I wrote those songs. And I would pretend that everyone was falling in love with me because I wrote those songs. And it was pretty pathetic, but it also was really motivating, because then the next day I would wake up and be like, okay, that feels so great. I want that feeling for real. So I'm going to try to get better at guitar, and I'm going to try to write these songs so that everyone falls in love with me. And I'm going to make that fantasy into a reality. I think this is it's manifesting, right? We're just feeling the feeling and then making it into a reality. It's also inspiring because it just you go, oh, I want to work to achieve that fantasy. And then it's also just fun. Even if nothing comes from it, just fantasizing about being an amazing musician is a really fun thing to do. People of the world, friends and relatives. Here's another thing that I do when I'm feeling burnt out is I just play easy songs to death. I just take songs I already know and I play them over and over again, trying to get them as perfect as I can, just enjoying the feeling of it. I'm not even like trying to get better at these songs. I'm just enjoying. This is the same thing I said earlier about try to have fun with what you're playing. Whatever. I will sometimes go weeks at a time where I only play songs that are fun and satisfying to play. And I just don't even worry about trying to improve. Eventually what happens is you get burnt out of that. You go, I'm sick of playing these songs. I want to play something new. And then you find a motivation to not have. Okay, here's a big one. You ready? I don't know. I felt like stabbing something. Don't you guys ever get the feeling you just want to stab something? People of the world, friends and relatives, my number one tip for dealing with burnout. When I first say it, you're going to be like, oh, screw you. But then I'm going to explain it a little bit more and you're going to go like, okay, join a band. Join a band, start a band, be in a band. Uncle Stuart, if I could just be in a band, then I wouldn't feel burnt out. I would feel excited. That's the problem is that's like a whole, okay. So well, first of all, I will make a whole video just about being in a band, starting a band, joining a band. But if you do not have anyone in your life that you feel like you could start a band with, and by the way, they don't have to play instruments already. Just if you can convince someone to play bass, convince someone to sing, you can find people and start a band and you're just going to be starting from scratch. You can do that. But let's say that you are deathly afraid of all other human beings and you do not have it in you to even begin that process of putting together a group of people to start a band. No problem. Start a band where you are the only member. There have been countless amazing bands where that has been the case. For me, I like to write and record my own original music all by myself. I like doing it with other human beings as well, but it's very satisfying for me to just have a one-man band and I just create everything from the ground up. I do like to show that music to people, but even if I just keep it to myself, it's still very satisfying and very motivating. You could start a one-man cover band where you just learn songs all the way through on guitar, come up with a name for your band, come up with a logo, design album covers. Even if it's all cover songs, just pick 10 cover songs that you can play all the way through. Record a demo. You can just record it on the voice memos app on your phone if you want, or if you have like equipment of it all, and you don't need that much equipment, you can record it on your computer or whatever. Even better, if you want to have some covers and some originals. What I'm trying to say is you can take any approach, start a band, put together all the pieces, like I said, name, logo, album cover, album name, song titles, the vibe of the band, what genre is the band, like make a poster for your band, do all those kind of just aesthetics. I wish that I knew how to say words. I think that is the single most motivating thing you can do as a musician is, for me, that's just been my situation. Okay. This is great. People of the world, friends and relatives. This is so much fun. I never really tied in my jazz burnout story into all that stuff. But I think basically it was like I had a lot of discipline and determination to start things off, along with some little successes. Then the successes kind of dried up. So I adjusted my expectations. And then once I adjusted my expectations, I found some more little successes and it kind of started the whole cycle up again. I do think burnout goes in like cycles. I don't think you're going to find the one method for you that keeps you motivated and energized all the time. I think you're going to burn out every once in a while and you're going to have to go through all these steps. It wasn't really laid out in steps. It was more like laid out in a hodgepodge of random crap. People of the world, friends and relatives. Oh, also, sometimes, I just wrote down at the bottom here, life burnout. It's like a dual meaning thing. Sometimes life takes over and you're just burnt out on all the things in your life that are hard because life is just hard and you just need to be frustrated and pissy about it for a while. And then also sometimes you just get burnt out of life by itself, and you kind of have to use these steps to just keep making your way through life. When you do all the same things, you fantasize about if your life was different, and you sometimes go like, I just need to take a break from life. I think that's called like depression, kind of, when you just try to like detach